Trump is planning to spend $45 million of your hard-earned taxpayer dollars on a fake military parade this Saturday that they can't even fill, that they put a super PAC ad on Craigslist to recruit citizens of the city of Washington, D.C. to go stand in the parade route. Congratulations.
Yeah, welcome and welcome again to Willy Docu Stories. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I hope you're doing well. I myself am doing great, and today is another day that we're meeting. And today we're going to talk about, I think it's breaking news. Yeah, what's happening in America right now? It feels like something out of political thriller, except it's real and unfolding right in front of us. And what is unfolding right in front of us? Thousands of US Marines have just landed in LA. Immigration raids sweeping through the cities and over 1,800 towns. Americans are flooding the streets with a bold message. And what is this message? No kings, right? And all of this happening in Donald Trump's 79th birthday during the massive military parade. Some are calling it patriotic, others say it looks like a blueprint of authoritarianism. So today, we are breaking it all down. What's really going on? Why so many Americans are alarmed, and whether this is just a political theater or a turning point of American democracy. Is the US heading towards a new era of control, or is this the people's last word? Let's break it down in the following videos. Let's meet at the end of the video.
Breaking news. The Trump administration is deploying the United States Marines into the city of Los Angeles. Now, as a veteran who served this country honorably, never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine that the military would be deployed to my own hometown. And I just feel bad for all the men and women out there who joined to protect our nation, to protect its citizens, its civilians, are now being turned against them. This is not about crowd control or anything like that. The Marines are trained to kill. The Marines are trained to attack. We're not to be used as human shields for fucking protection. Nah. But this is the reality of what we're living in. God help us all.
This has got to stop. Now, President Trump was 100% correct in sending in the National Guard. Now, Gavin Newsom, the governor of California, and Karen Bass, the mayor, are completely behind on this issue. This is what the Democratic Party stands for. Invaders coming into the United States, throwing things at our law enforcement. Even the cops there said they can't control the situation. And so President Trump sends in the National Guard. And then Tom Homan says, guess what, Gavin Newsom, get in the way of the federal government's business. And guess what we're going to do to you and your mayor? We're going to arrest you. Law and order, we have to protect our people and protect the rule of law. The Democratic Party is now all over social media condemning not the protests, condemning not the riots, condemning not the revolution, but condemning our reaction to it to keep citizens and businesses safe. This is unbelievable. Even the Los Angeles chief of police said they can't contain it, and they were welcoming help in. Gavin Newsom, on the other hand, said he's going to sue today. He's going to sue the president on bringing in the National Guard. He said it's illegal. I mean, what now? The courts are now running every act in the country. Look, Lyndon Johnson brought the National Guard into Alabama in 1965 to protect civil rights protesters. And guess what? He didn't have the support of Alabama Governor George Wallace. So the precedent has already been set for this. So they can sue anybody they want. This is what we're dealing with right now. Now, ask a question to yourself and comment on this. Do you believe that President Trump was right in sending in the National Guard? Because if he doesn't, this is going to be happening all over the country. I want your response to that. Don't forget my show, 6 a.m. to 10 a.m., Monday to Friday, outside the Beltway, 7 to 8. It's all here. You can find it at JF Radio Show, or just go to johnfredericksradio.com We're also on smart TV, so you don't want to miss us there. Share this to other people.
Trump wants chaos in the streets. And right now, you're giving him exactly what he wants. So to the protesters, you could just not do this. Like, not light cars on fire, not throw bricks at cops, not smash the windows of the immigrant-owned shops you claim to defend. If your goal is to stop deportations, to convince Americans that the administration is overstepping, then maybe don't hand the president a pretext for even more crackdowns. Sympathy is your strongest weapon, and you're setting it on fire. And to Trump, you've made it clear that you don't give a shit what Governor Newsom or Mayor Bass think. You called in the National Guard against their wishes, you escalated a situation that by most accounts was manageable, and now you're talking about sending in the Marines. The Marines into Los Angeles. This isn't about safety anymore. It's about optics. It's about power. It's about making the protesters into villains so that you can play the hero. And the worst fucking part is that it's working. The violence that we saw Sunday and that we're seeing today is exactly what he wanted. So now we have two sides fueling each other's worst instincts. One smashing windows, the other trampling the Constitution. And both sides are wrong. Protest is a right. Violence is not. Immigration enforcement is legal. But martial law without justification is not. This is a dangerous moment. And if we're not careful, if people don't take a breath and step back, we may cross a line that's impossible to walk back from.
I've got a question for the people I grew up with. The people of Missouri, of Arkansas, of Oklahoma, from Kentucky, from Tennessee, from Kansas, from Iowa. Are you proud? Are you proud that they took kids out of foster homes today? They put them in ICE detention centers. Little children. Are you proud? ICE went into a 6th grade graduation. At least they could have waited until graduation was over. What happened to the people I grew up with? The people I know would have given those kids the food off their plate, the shoes off their feet, the shirt off their backs. Where are those people? These are our babies.
Millions are hitting the streets this weekend for No King's Day, a nationwide protest against Trump's authoritarian power grab. Over 2,000 cities are rising up in response to everything this moment represents. Trump's military parade, his ICE raids in Los Angeles, and his escalating attempt to turn this country into a dictatorship. The timing says it all. On his birthday, Trump's parading tanks through D.C. The people are answering with peaceful resistance to say loud and clear, we don't do kings in this country. In L.A., where Trump has already deployed U.S. Marines and the National Guard to crack down on protests, tensions are high, but the movement is nationwide. New York, Chicago, Philly, Atlanta, Portland, D.C., and more. Organizers are calling on everyone to show up loud, proud, and peaceful. This is about defending democracy, not playing into their narrative. Bring your signs, bring your people, and bring your courage, because power still belongs to us, not to a wannabe king with a parade. Be safe, be smart, be powerful.
Over 250 years of celebrating the military is what's going to be going on tomorrow. This has not happened for nearly 30 years. It's also President Trump's birthday tomorrow and Flag Day. Many people are saying that President Trump is having this parade to honor him, but he's actually having it to honor the military. Our military needs to be honored. Our military needs to be respected. There will be over 6,000 soldiers marching through the street, over 150 military vehicles, and there will also be 50 aircrafts flying through the air to celebrate our military. If you can see behind me, there's a bulletproof glass. That is where President Trump and his family will be sitting so they can be protected as they watch our military march through the street. Along with this amazing parade, there are going to be over 1,900 protesters planned throughout America calling no kings. They're saying President Trump thinks he's the king, so they want to have protests against him. Instead of celebrating our military, these protesters are going to be marching through the street angry at the President of the United States of America. This is going to be a great day in America. I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. Be grateful for our military. They are the ones who fight for our freedom, and they should be celebrated.
We have breaking news this evening. The Pentagon is scrambling tonight to set clear rules of the road for Marines to engage with United States citizens in an unprecedented situation where Marines may soon have to face off against American citizens. According to the Associated Press, the Pentagon is scrambling right now to establish rules to guide U.S. Marines who could face the rare and difficult prospect of using force against U.S. citizens on American soil. While the forces had been trained in de-escalation, crowd control, and standing rules for the use of force, there's still significant questions raised over the possibility that Marines may soon have to use force on American citizens. These Marines are trained for combat, for places like Syria, Afghanistan, where the United States has armed conflict. They're facing a very different role now, and the Pentagon is trying to establish clear rules of the road for these Marines. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, welcome back again to Willie Doki Stories. And what's really happening in America right now? This isn't just politics. It's a turning point. On 14th June, Donald Trump marked his 79th birthday with a massive military parade in DC. Jets overhead, troops marching and supporters cheering. But to many, it looked less than patriotism and more like power on display. Critics say it resembled something of an authoritarian playbook. At the same time, over 1,800 cities, America flooded the streets with a clear message. And what is this message? No kings here. It wasn't just an anti-Trump, it was anti-tyranny. Protesters are calling out what they see as growing threat to democracy, and they have not staying silent. Why should you stay silent and the Constitution only protect the people? If something isn't right, we have the freedom as the people to go out and say and demonstrate about what we feel like isn't going okay. But what makes this more than just a symbolic clash is what's actually happening on the ground. Over 2,000 Marines were sent to LA to help immigration raids. Families were being deported, and the streets are tensed. Supporters say it's about law and order, but civil rights advocates say it's about fear and control. Let's be real here, folks. This isn't normal. The combination of military force, political spectacle, and mass protest feel like something we have seen in other countries right before freedom breaks down. And so the question of today is, are we witnessing the early signs of authoritarianism in America? Or is this just democratic politics? Whatever you believe, one thing is very clear here, and let's be real. This moment matters, and how we respond to it, whether we speak up, stay silent, or simply scroll past, says everything about whether where we are headed. So what do you think? Is America at least at risk, or are people overreacting? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit the like if you're watching closely, and don't forget to subscribe for more commentary on the stories that actually matters.